million subscribers.
Ooh. I am switching my audio.
Are you muted on OBS?
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Am I?
Why?
Put that away. Hello. Oh. Oh God. There's a lot of people. Excellent. Alright, well, last time I streamed, I got a ton of stuff cut out, and I began finishing the edges of stuff. Today, we will be... I think I'm going to try and stamp out some designs. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, so I need one set of each piece. I am doing good. How are you, Kumi? Did I do the dome? No. Perfect. There, that goes there, then I need one of... Okay. Where is the other? There we go. Okay. One boot at a time. So, unfortunately, yes, the video might glitch a little bit. My camera is ancient to begin with, and it's also hooked up to a 50-foot USB cable. I unfortunately shouldn't be doing that, but I live with people that hate when I'm hammering. So... I'm out in my garage that I've set up to be a workroom. Okay, where do I start? Throw it all out. I mean, right. Which side is which. Okay. First things first is I have to finish the edges on all of this stuff. Should be pretty quick. So what I'm applying here is called Tokonol. It is a Japanese product from somewhere in Tokyo. Shinjuku. This stuff is magic. I've used other burnishing gums in the past. This stuff does not matter what you're applying it to. It will turn it to glass. My voice audio is doubled. Oh. How do I fix that? How do I fix that? Audio input capture. Oh. I do see that. If I mute this one, is it better? Hopefully, that's better. Either that or nobody can hear me. It's okay. New to this streaming thing. I expect mistakes. Up the volume. I can do that. Audio input. No, that makes me think. Hold on. What if I do this? Is that better? Because I think it might be picking up the audio from this camera. I see two audio inputs and I don't know which one is which. Okay. Alright. So this is called a burnishing tool. It comes in two fashions. Wood is typical. This is what you're going to see in a lot of European style or American style leatherworking stuff. This is a round burnisher. They also have flat ones for doing the flesh side, which is the fuzzy side of leather. I don't use a wooden one for the flesh side. I use this, which is a Japanese style. It's a glass burnishing tool. It's honestly just a chunk of glass. And it uses friction and the burnishing gum to basically sand down the edge until it's perfectly shiny. Hopefully pretty glass. I don't know that it'll pick it up, but you can kind of see it's a little bit shiny in comparison to the rough edge. Oh, and good news, I didn't get copyrighted on my audio on the last video. So this is an okay mix. Oh, excellent. Excellent. For here. Anybody have anything interesting happen today? What's the crib thing? Oh! What the cream does is it's kind of almost got the consistency of like glue, of like Elmer's glue, but it's a little bit stickier. What it does is it increases the friction between the wood or glass and the leather, allowing it to sort of close the ends. People are asking me questions that I didn't think I'd ever get asked. It's a good thing I know the answer. It also moistens the edge, which makes it easier to close them up. A lot of people just use water, which is fine, because it helps heat up the edges with friction without burning them. But for the most part, you want to use a tacky gum, because with water it has the opportunity to allow the moisture in and cause it to mold. Because leather is a natural material, it can rot. Oh no. The fish are here. Well, so you can use polishing compound like to polish leather. Usually you want to use a very fine one. Leather is a lot like a very soft wood. You can sand it and it makes it smooth, but it takes material away super fast. I love bread so much. I appreciate you being here, Ambassador. Hello, May. Essentially like softwood. It can rot just like wood. It can be carved like wood, just in a. It's a lot thinner. It's like flexible balsa wood. You can carve it if you're really good. Yes, so right now the only thing that you've missed is I went and grabbed a glass of whiskey. Um, essentially right now all I'm doing is slicking the edges down with a burnishing tool to make them shiny like glass, and then I'll be moving on to wetting the leather with just regular water so that we can stamp it, and it'll take the stamp and not spring back. I'm also hoping to do something that you're not supposed to do because I'm dumb and I bought the wrong material. I'm trying to turn suede into what's called full grain leather, which is like kind of smooth and... Oh, every time is a tonight's brand is Costco special, not Kirkland, but Bullet. Last stream, it was a Sazerac. I am a kobold, this is a tavern, therefore I am permeating with liquor. So I'm using way more than you're supposed to try and force this leather to be something it is not. I don't know if this is going to work. Experimenting. If you're wondering, doing this, because, you know, hands are also leather, my fingertips are very soft. Let's see. It's also going to save me. It's also going to save me about $120 if I can figure out how to salvage this piece of leather. This is what happens when you order things online without reading them. You get the wrong stuff. Oh. Thank you for the subscription. You know what? That's actually going to work. It's not quite the same sheen, but it's smooth, and that's all that matters, because it's just going to get dyed or painted, and that's fine with me. Cool. This place is peaceful. Yes, this is what the back of the tavern feels like. Oh, there will 100% be bonks tonight, because I'm going to be tooling. I'm not looking forward to doing this one. It's gonna... But, hey, that's fine. Appreciate it. Nope. That's about as good as that's gonna get. This is definitely the wrong material. But you know what? Whatever. Oh yeah. Hopefully, either the next stream or the stream after, we're gonna have Farley able to speak as well. I just don't know how to set that up yet, and I have to watch YouTube videos. Oh, it's Bullet Bourbon. You never heard of it? Oh, well, it's actually pretty, well, at least West Coast, it's popular. Comes in a big bottle, you know, my coaster would come off. Heavy oak, a little bit of peat moss. Kind of a sweet, almost vanilla smell. It's not bad, and it's also very cheap at Costco. It's my during the week whiskey. I do have more expensive whiskey that I drink typically, but if I drink that all the time, I'm gonna be very poor. Hey, Hype. This is one thing I'm not particularly fond of. I hate doing the flesh side because I lose my fingerprint and I can't open my stupid iPhone. Every time. For like a week. I'm sure they have applicators. I don't have one. Yep, it's gone. Great. That's fine. I don't have a fingerprint scanner at work anymore. We're cool. It usually doesn't take this much effort. I'm trying to stream sooner if possible. It's completely traffic permitting. I get off work at random times, salary and all that. Usually I don't get home till about this time, but I've been getting home earlier, so hoping for slightly earlier streams to allow people who need to sleep and still be active. Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Salary is, well, it's what pays the bills. Ouch. It is typically hurts a little bit when you catch the... It's smooth and slick and you move your hand and then you catch a dry spot and it's just like... Argh! I'm glad I can actually respond to the chat a little bit quicker now. Oh, darn it, I just realized the camera is not even pointing at what I'm doing. There we go. I do have something planned for like a work along at some point. All the stuff can be purchased on Amazon. Not that I'm selling it, but just, you know, basic supplies on how to do something simple. I want to do a stream of making these, which is little dice bags, like for D&D, or coin purse if you prefer. This is in the future. It is, unfortunately, because of leather being kind of costly, gonna run around $60, which is a lot, and I feel bad, but unfortunately, you know, unless I can find, and I'm gonna keep my eyes out, unless I can find slightly cheaper materials, that's Amazon price. Buenas noches, Fungus. Haven't had to speak Spanish in quite a while. It's fun. I'm doing the impossible. I'm turning suede into full grain. I realize 60 isn't that bad, but it makes me feel bad that I don't want to have people like, oh, I really want to do this, and then like spend $60 on something that they end up potentially not wanting or not using or whatever, just to be a part of the stream, and then that part makes me feel bad. And like, I get that that's probably not a lot of money, but at the same time, for some people, it is a lot of money. I've been bad off where $60 has been like everything. So, and then they hired me to be a government worker. Wonder how that worked out. Yeah, it's confirmed that the government is run by kobolds in America. No, not a government spy. God, if I got that kind of money, I shoot. If I could transfer to that position, that'd be great, but no, I don't get paid that kind of money. I can't say what I do, but you know, I'm not a Fed, if that makes sense. It's at the state level is about all I can say. And my real name that I go by is not my government name, so good luck finding me. God. No, genuinely, if I got Fed money, holy moly. I'd have all kinds of machines laid out. I probably would still stream. But yeah, that's significantly smoother. I wonder if it'll pick up the sound. So you can you can hear it doesn't make any noise. And that does. Thank you, May. Thank you, May Ray. Enjoy your food. You were in the military? I appreciate your service. My dad was a Vietnam vet, and I kind of grew up learning to say that to everyone. It don't matter. You still served. It's more balls than I can say. I have. I've noticed the camera's only glitching at the bottom of the screen. So if I just stay up here, it's not a problem. One of these days I'm going to figure out how to stream metal melting. That'll be fun. I just don't know how to stream outside, because if I do it inside, I will burn my house down. And I kind of like having a roof. I don't do well in the cold. Even though California's not really cold, but, you know. Still. Did I put them away? I did. So I use a lot of scrap metal when I do it. I'll grab it real quick. I'm primarily a blacksmith. Leatherworking is something my dad used to do growing up, and then I learned it when I was in Boy Scouts, and I kind of did it as a hobby for a while, and then this ended up being more lucrative than making horseshoes. So this is essentially a solid aluminum ingot. This is about 60 soda cans, or beer cans. It was a mix between the two of them. Used a muffin tin. I didn't have an ingot mold at the time. But I've got about 30 or so pounds, about 10 of these boxes worth. It's better than the 50 cents a can they give you. I, in fact, do know how to make a trebuchet. And just so you know, that box is incredibly heavy. It broke the shelf that they're sitting on. So now they're just kind of stacked up on some old speakers. This isn't coming out as shiny as the other ones, but it is sealing the edge, so that should be fine, I hope. That's starting to dry, and you can kind of see the sheen versus the back, which is very not. Oh yeah, no, cars are my thing. Cars are very much my thing. Yeah. In a past life, I was probably a mechanic. Yeah, the issue is, you know, it sounds like I can do a lot, but realistically, I can do a lot of old world things. Oh yeah, I do chainmail too. Should I go get a chainmail panel and show that? Alright, let me go grab a piece of my spite piece. Let me finish this edge and then I'll grab it. To explain that, for anybody who doesn't remember the first stream when I mentioned it, unfortunately, Tabby, I am real. See, I can do a lot of things. The computer is not one of them. Setting up this whole stream thing, oh my gosh, that was a challenge. I'm an old man inside. Age-wise, I'm not, but computers confuse me. I can do electrical, but when you add a computer chip and tell me to program it, other than basic commands, that was my least favorite class when I was going to college for mechanical engineering. Go figure. And that's why I don't do it as a living. That and there's no jobs. Let me go grab the chainmail. Okay. Alright, so, I don't know how I'm going to lay this so that you can see it. So this isn't your average chainmail. This is what's called Byzantine Weave. Normal chainmail shirts, or what this is called a sheet, um, would be made out of like an English 3-in-1 or Persian 6-in-1 or different, very simple repeating patterns. This is meant to be a jewelry weave. It's significantly thicker. These are carbon steel, which is the hardest ring to make it out of, because I hate myself. These are all 100% 2 pairs of pliers and just hours of labor. I've got about 30 of these sheets. I need about 300. So this will be there will be streams of me doing this, because this is a spike piece. I went to a Renaissance fair. I took a class on how to do some different chainmail weaves, because I knew basic ones. I didn't know how to do them. And then I was told that you can't do something by an old man. And let me tell you, I'm proving that boomer wrong. How long does it take to make one little panel like this? About an hour. About an hour. When I first started, it took me like 4 or 5. If you're using aluminum rings, which is what most people use, or if you buy chainmail on like Amazon or whatever, like the pre-made stuff, it's all aluminum. That is the easiest set of rings to actually turn into something. It's let me try and keep it in frame. There we go. So thought it'd be. Oh, I have a lot of these sheets I can go get. Like I said, I've got about 30 of these. It's about enough to cover my chest. I still need to do another set. I need to do the sides. I need to do the neck. And then I need to do the, I don't know what it's called, the skirt section, the part that goes down to your thighs. But yeah, they told me that it's impossible to make a Byzantine weave into a sheet, and I wanted it to look. Realistically, I was making a magistrate costume for the Renaissance Fair from Divinity, and I wanted to add my own little twist to it. So I made a chainmail shirt a long time ago, and it kind of fell apart because I used aluminum rings and it was rubbing against a steel chest plate. And I decided steel rings would be the way to go, because steel rubbing on steel, not great, but also this is a lot denser and it's not just going to accidentally pull apart. The only one safe against the AI revolution. That's funny. No, I fall for AI. See, funny story about that one, though, Miku, about being boomer pilled, is I'm also a friend of Dorothy, so... At some point, I want to see pictures of your little frog. Black blood. So this one, I wasn't originally going to do a plush theme to it. Oh, that's right. So yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going with a plush feel to this one. I had planned on doing like a repeating pattern, something simple. But I feel like if I do the plush theme, you get more of an idea of what goes into repeating patterns that don't touch. So I'm suffering for your enjoyment. It's the worst spot. Maybe one of these streams I'll do some spinning and make some yarn. to those little bead things. Enjoy your food, Tabby. Yeah. One of these times maybe I'll do spinning. Just requires me to find some wool. Make some yarn. Oh, jeez. There goes iPhone again. 2%. Oh yeah, I haven't. Well, I wouldn't say I'm in the modern age. This is an iPhone 6. Oh, those little plushies are cute. On my iPhone, I can get a whole day out of it, but I don't really use it for much. Most of my stuff gets done on my old Samsung. Okay, this is some first world problems. The only reason I have an old Apple phone that's hooked up is strictly because I go to Disneyland a lot, like a lot, and God, this stupid charger would work. None of the apps at Disney work on Android at all. Now, if I don't touch that, it'll charge. Oh no! When I'm actually like texting or something, it's done in like an hour. It's trash. It's absolute trash. But again, I don't really use my phone for much. So there's that. Yeah, I would still be using a payphone if they existed anymore. God, I don't want to do this one. I'm gonna leave this one, I think, raw because it goes under the shoe and it doesn't matter. I do need to do the edges though. I just want what's left of my fingerprint to be intact for the next shoe cover thing. No, actually, I don't prefer texting. I don't. Or, I'm sorry, I don't prefer calling. I don't like talking to people in general. I use like online text apps. I prefer type. I do prefer type. But I'll use like Discord's awful mobile thing, or I'll use like Telegram or other just text apps. I don't use the onboard text thing very much, except for like coworkers who are older than me, or my mom, or my mom. I do find it a little bit easier through phone call to convey emotions. I'm not very good at that, and I always feel, and this just could be me, but I always feel like if I say something, it's going to get taken out of context, and it'd be easier if I just called. Glad I'm not alone. My kingdom for some beeswax. These edges would be a lot easier to do because they're really stiff. I do not want to compress. This is a lot easier to focus on chat while I'm doing. When I was cutting the pattern, it was almost impossible to keep up. Also, being my first stream with a May raid was a lot overwhelming. I'm new to the whole streaming thing too. That's obviously, you know, channel-wise I'm new to it, but like even watching it, my first experiences with Tabby through Farley, and I found May also through Farley. So what I'm saying is I'm old at heart. Okay, so the ironic thing about that, I have an actual microphone because originally I bought it because like I have like a proper pop filtered microphone I bought for trying to do an animation voice acting for an animation that Farley was making. Is still making potentially where it yes, but that's a long ways away, unfortunately. Be fun to do, but yeah. But yeah, I have like a professional microphone that wasn't seeing much use and is incredibly dusty because of that. At some point I should clean it. I won't, because I know me, but I should. Okay, so here's my thought. Here's my thought process here. These goes over like that and curls. So that's basically to there. So I'll scooch it down just to kind of make it look like where it would be. I'm thinking of coming around and doing sort of like a circle, so that way when it folds over the front, you still get this very smooth front section. If I'm going to do that, I need to measure. Hello, Hota. Do these line up? Thank you, Hype. Have a good one. Auf Wiedersehen. Trying to think of the best way to do this. I may finish one. The issue is dyeing takes time. When I dye it, well, I can do the black. The black dries pretty quick. I will attempt to finish them, or at least one of them. I may show some stitching. If I do that, I have to change the the description. So my thought is bring it down. I'm trying to look for something I can use as a let me go grab that. I need my French curve. Shit on here. Oh, God. Okay. For anyone wondering, this is what a French curve looks like. It's a tool that you use to make patterns. Specifically, curves. Actually, I kind of dig that shape. They're significant. So each one is a different degree of curvature. Better tools than this one will actually have the degrees marked. I've had this for years, and there were no markings when I bought it. It was very cheap. I just use it to make shapes. But if you're actually using it for clothing or stuff like that, it comes with different degrees, so you can kind of get different curves of like how big a shirt section should be, or you know, where the hole for the arm sleeve or whatever. I'm not a clothing maker. I can sew, but I'm not very good at it. Okay. Oh, this is difficult. I've never had to cut this far away from me before. The cool thing about this is once you've made it once, you have it forever. So the reason I'm using, I don't know if it even shows up, graph paper, I will show in just a moment because it's a useful tool for later. Cut this right. Okay. So that's essentially going to be where we do the tooling. So I'm going to make a line around the edge to try and separate that. And then I will be punching those holes. I have to double check what I did with that. But, let me see. What is up here? Oh, that's just regular paper, isn't it? Yeah, that works. My stash of patterns. Scheisse. Where is it? That was a part of this one, right? Oh no, wait, this is the unisex. No, I need the fem belt. Is it this one? Oh, no, this is the backpack. Is it this one? No, that's the... What did I do with it? Okay. Well, I think it's 4 in 1, but I gotta... Is this it? Hey, there we go. Bingo. Okay, how did I do it on this one? Because I like the spacing on this. I have to remember to put that away, because I will forget. How far in does that sit? If I were to do this... Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay. And that's every 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Then in the middle we go down 2. 1, 2. Right here. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. perfect. Whatever happens. Okay, so what I'm doing right now might not make sense. It will a lot better in a moment, but so I took an old pattern piece out because I liked the spacing that I did on this before. I'm going to be tooling this with my plush stamp, and it's going to make the leather look like it's kind of like how couches look, where it's drawn in the middle. Obviously, this is not going to be drawn in, because that would require a lot more work that I'm not willing to put in. But the issue with this is a repeating pattern that does not go directly next to one another, so there's nowhere to place it. So, in order to keep it even, I use a piece of graph paper, which I know is perfectly even squares, and I poke out the middle of each one of those squares, mark it off with just a standard awl that I've dulled down so it's not sharp, and I would prefer it to be sharp. This is just an old awl. Oops. But what this ends up doing is it will create a repeating pattern that's easily followable. Ooh. We're gonna kind of cut that one close. Crap. It's real easy to lose track of the pattern you're trying to create. And mark the wrong box. As long as you know what you're doing, or you're like me and you have no idea what you're doing, everything will work out just fine. We'll do that. And that should be even enough. I'm not worried about this edge. I'm not worried about this edge at all. Okay. Question is what to do first. Okay, so I want to do edge around it, but I need to get the leather wet, and I can't get the pattern piece wet. So, what I think I'm going to do first, poke all the holes. So what I do to make it easier so that it doesn't cause any of the holes to, because it's happened to me, when I'm poking the marker holes on the actual leather itself, I pre-poke the holes so I don't get paper stuffed into the leather. One of these days I'll get better at tooling, like actual tooling, not just using repeating patterns. Today is not that day, but eventually. I didn't forget any holes, did I? No. Okay. There we go. No turning back now. Good recommendation for this would be to tape your pattern piece down. When you're doing this. This one is small, so I should be okay to not have it squiggle around on me. However, it helps to have a firm hand. And the idea here is only to mark it. It's not to punch all the way through. So push it in enough to where the mark will stay. So you know where to punch. Master. I don't know about that one, Chief, but I appreciate it. just because you do something for a long time, unfortunately, does not make you a master. I just have not had somebody tell me otherwise. Therefore, I continue doing it the same way. I'm sure it's wrong, and I'm sure at some point somebody that does leatherworking is going to tell me how much of a moron I am. However, until that happens, I'm going to continue the way I've been doing it. There we go. I had brought a towel out here. Where did it go? Well, oh, here it is. Interesting. Okay, so this is the fun part. At least it is for me. I find it really satisfying to see how water gets absorbed into leather. So I'm just going to drop a drop and you can watch kind of how dark it gets immediately. And it's soaked in. It's very satisfying. Now the idea is not to make it sopping wet. It just needs to be damp enough to be malleable. So when you get a nice consistent dark color, where it's not like sopping wet if you pick it up, you should be okay. And if you do start working leather and it isn't taking the tooling as easily, it's okay to add more water. And if you use too much water, it's okay to just sit and let it dry. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So, for years I've used an awl to continue making the shape what I want it to be. This is the tool you're supposed to use. This is a lining tool. It's just a little ball at the, I don't know if I can focus on it. It's just a little tipped end that's got a ball on the end. And all it does is it helps squash down what you're trying to squash down. So the idea is to have enough downward pressure to basically squish the water out of it. You want to try and mold it into the shape that you're going for. You're not looking to rub it back and forth like we were with the slicking tool. We're just looking to make an impression in the leather. Oh, I lurk on the regular, so do not feel bad whatsoever. I just appreciate you being here. Anybody who finds this interesting is a surprise to me, so it's a very dead hobby. Outside of like purse making, there's not much I can use this for anymore, unless I wanted to make saddles or shoes. And I am not a cobbler, nor am I a farrier anymore, so no, I will not be making a saddle anytime soon. Ooh, well, here's where I wing it because I forgot to mark these 2 holes. Because the pattern is wet, I cannot put the pattern back on there. Or because the piece is wet, I can't put the pattern back on there. Because otherwise, I'll ruin that very flimsy paper. It's okay though, because I can just use the lines to line up my corners on my punch. And the cool thing about punching is it's okay if you're off a little bit. It just adds to the handmade feel. That wasn't made by a machine. So it's bound to have imperfections. No 2 pieces are alike. No mistakes, just happy little accidents. There you go. I don't know if that's actually showing up, so hopefully it is. I know my light is incredibly bright. But it's mostly so I don't ruin my eyes. So, hopefully you can see it. Let me be a filthy whiskey peasant and say this. I enjoy ice in my whiskey because it makes my drink everlasting. And the more that you drink, or the slower you drink, the more you get water intake, which keeps the hangovers away. Not to say I won't have good whiskey neat, but never know. Some days they're just cheap whiskey. Okay. I gotta lay out the other pattern. Hopefully this takes it. Now I tried a piece before on just the suede itself. You can't really see where the punches are on this. You can a little bit, but it didn't hold them, so fingers crossed. And because this pattern is identical, both sides, just flip it over. Where did my... There it is. Let's hope the experiment worked. This is most definitely not tooling leather, so I don't know how well this is going to work. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Oh boy. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. Who wants to lend me their spirit energy to hope this works? Don't everybody jump up at once. gonna try and start with the line so I don't lose it. Now, if this works out, these two lines should, in theory, line up. Oh, garbage. In theory, at least. So the major reason why you don't ever want to mark your pattern with like a pen or something, which is the reason why I'm not using a pen to mark it so it's easier to see, is it will show through the dye when you dye it. If you're looking for a natural leather, you can't get that color out. Doesn't matter what you do, it will never come out. Boy, howdy, here we go. Make it extremely wet before I do that. Doing the thing you're not supposed to do, but I've already done that, so see how it's shiny? Usually you don't want leather to be shiny like that when you're stamping it. It's just hoping that I made it wet enough to take a stamp. Kinda. Hard to see where the stamps are, though. It's not. Well, it's working. Sure is soaking up. helicopter too. If you're wondering what I'm mentioning here, apparently Farley is telling people about my knowledge of aircraft and my ability on what I can and cannot fly. I do not currently have my pilot's license anymore, but I learned a lot of stuff in Boy Scouts, so just put it that way. Is the water going? Heather's just drinking all of it up. Do not understand. Yes, actually, long time ago, yes. It was, the program was called The Flight of the Eagles. The last lesson that I learned was how to fly a biplane from World War II. That was terrifying. Oh. I didn't know this came off. Huh. Alright, well, ain't good enough. I think the handle came off because I had to hit it so hard. Genuinely, it's coming apart. That's not good. You know what? There's a reason I have two. I did. Well, it, in fact, took it. Huh. I was not expecting that to work. Genuinely not expecting that to work. But it did. Okay, so here's the idea. Move my tools back to where they belong. My idea is black, black, dark brown, as dark as I can make it, like that reddish brown. This, the under the foot strap, also as dark as I can make it, dark brown. This will also be black. And then I'm thinking gold rivets. So these pieces are going to be dyed black. We get to see what happens when I dye suede black. I really don't know what's going to happen. Where is the dye? There it is. Big bottle of dye. And move that towel as far away as I can. Where's my... There you are. Ah! Oh no, the world's gonna know I shop at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's, please sponsor me. Groceries are expensive. Wait, forgot to do this. Okay, here we go. This dye is technically not rated for suede. This is also technically not suede anymore. That's what I'm telling myself, at least. Thank you for coming out. Have a good night. God, I hope so. I hope it'll buff. Ugh. One of these days I need to buy an apron. I will not be making an apron. That's a lot of leather. I might make a coat. There's a trench coat I want to make, and that's just going to take all the leather in the world. Technically speaking, this is going to end up for sale. So this isn't even for me, which is irritating. Yeah. I should. I won't, but I should. Hell, half the times I don't even wear shoes, and well, let's just say I know how hot lava is to step on. Barefooted. It's not good. It's pretty bad, actually. Did that? Okay. That needs more. Especially right there. Brave, no. Stupid, yes. I'm a stupid man. Sometimes I learn from my mistakes. Well, if you guys want to watch me stumble along making one out of canvas, I probably could do a stream of that. I'm not very good at sewing, so that's going to be kind of fun to watch me suffer, I guess. I realistically don't want one out of leather because A, heavy, B, hot, and expensive. Expensive is a big factor. I have to let that dry just a little bit so I can flip it. Or do it now. I have a tool for this, for doing edges. I should use it. It's new. So if FYI, if you dye leather, you should be using gloves. Do as I say and not as I do. This will get on everything. It's very hard to get off your hands. But at this point, I didn't think about it, and it's too late. It's too late. Good thing about Angel's dye is it's alcohol based, so it dries very quickly. Usually, unless you lay it on thick. Like this suede is just drinking this stuff up. I don't even know where it's going. This would be a good candidate for dip dyeing, I think. Oh, and if anybody's curious, I did, in fact, bring in the bowls that I used to dip dye. I can show that. As soon as I'm done putting this coat down, I'll grab them. They're... this is the back. This is good enough. Okay. Ugh. That looks bad. That's what this is for. Oh, I forgot how bad that sounds. I apologize in advance. Matter of fact, let me put more on. I think that's just not dark enough. Whew. Okay. The reason I'm using a napkin to kind of buff the material is it makes the dye, because it's alcohol based, it kind of makes different hues in it, which don't exactly look great. So by rubbing it in, you're kind of adding that friction back, and you're kind of forcing the dye to be all one coating, one color. Also, if you like your work surface, I recommend some sort of like newspaper, or I cut open a Trader Joe's paper bag. Like I said, it gets everywhere, and it will stain everything, which may not be what you want. Gotta let this dry for a little bit. Not very long. Dries quick, but that's unfortunately where the caveat comes in, because I want to dye this other one brown, and that takes like 2 hours to dry. Because I'm going to use this stuff. I can start the brown. But the color, as soon as this is somewhat close to drying, is going to be similar to this one. So what I can do, at least I hope, it might be darker than this, ideally, but so I can kind of get an idea. We're going for, oh, of course it's not in frame. There we go. Gonna go for that. Let me find, I know I've got gold hardware here. Hold on. I'll mock it up a little bit. Okay, wait a minute. Where are my gold fasteners? I know I have them. Here we go. Are those the same color? Eh, close enough. It's more like a rose gold, and that's like a yellow gold, but gold is gold. Surprisingly, that suede took that dye rather well. Just lay it out like that. I'm doing the most right now. I don't really have to do all this. I could stamp the other side, but I think I'm good. I'm actually really tired. Work was a lot today. So, ideally, this is what it's going to look like. Hopefully, you guys can see it. Oh, well, I guess I could lay out the other piece here. Scooch it down just a bit so that it's in the middle of the frame, and I'm going to knock everything off my table and pretend that I didn't do that. But yeah, so this is the soon-to-be end goal product. I like it. I think it's fancy. Came out better than I was expecting to with that suede. Ugh. Alright, I think I'm actually going to call it there because this requires dyeing. I have to do the other one, but I'll get to it eventually. So, I guess that means next time we will be doing stitching, which I'm going to have to figure out how to show that in a way that doesn't hurt my back. I'm gonna do the other side exactly like this one, so watching me do it a second time is moot. Or actually, you know what? No, because I plan on streaming tomorrow as well. Maybe I'll do the other side tomorrow. But definitely tonight I'm going to get these dyed, both sides. So that way tomorrow, potentially, we can sew. Potentially. I don't know how far we'll get, but I'll try. But yeah, that's the goal. So I'm going to, real quick, before I genuinely shut up shop down here, I'm going to slick down this one and the edges of the other bottom piece here, because I have to do that on these two pieces. And then throw these in some brown dye to soak. And they'll be ready for tomorrow, ideally. But yeah, this is going to be the be-all end goal. And I'll bring up a shoe or something so that I can mock it up to where people can see it. But yeah, that is going to be it for today. So I appreciate everybody that came out. Anybody has any closing questions? I'm still here for a few more minutes while I clean up. Thank you very much. Hopefully it will be looking better when it's finished. I will. I think it automatically posts the streams on YouTube. If not, I will make a VOD of it. If you can, if you want to keep up with it. Otherwise, I appreciate you coming out, and I will see you guys next time. I can remember how to close the stream. I may not be leaving. Alright, there we go. Goodbye.